here today. We had so much fun last week. It was a great group, and I see a lot of the same faces, and that makes it even more fun because you keep seeing people you've met before. So good to have each one of you here today. If you're new, welcome, and we'll love to have you today. And then we have a third one coming next week on September 21, where Dr. Paul Chung is going to be sharing with us about eye health, and that will be very interesting as well. So for today, though, I'm not going to do the introduction of the speaker because there's someone who knows even better than I how to introduce Arvi, so I'll let him do that, Dr. Generoso. But in the meantime, what I'd like to do is have a prayer, welcome God's presence to be with us as we dive into a new topic today. Let's pray together. Dear Father in heaven, you are so good to us. I want to thank you for new friends that I'm making here, and for also just the topic that brings us together is health and vitality. And so I pray that today as we engage, as we listen, as we learn, that you will bring to our hearts and minds the things that are most important to not only bless our own bodies, but to be a blessing in a world where many people are suffering with different health ailments and just need surrounding in these times. So come be with us and send your blessing as Dr. Generoso is speaking to us today. We pray this now in Jesus' name. Amen. So here's our speaker for next week, Dr. Paul Chung, but he'll be introducing today.
So my topic next week is not just about eye diseases. It's about diabetes, circulation, and eye diseases. So we'll try to cram in 10 hours of lecture in 45 minutes. I'm getting some feedback if you could turn that down. All right, so our speaker today is Dr. Arvi Generoso. And before I introduce her, I wanted to introduce the lady who's responsible for her, Arvi's mom over there. If you could just wave your hand. Glad you came. So Arvi and her husband Alan live a little south of here. She is originally from the Philippines, and she did her internal medicine residency at the University of Illinois affiliated hospital in Chicago. And during that time, she was chief resident her last year there. And she and her husband run a clinic called Generoso Clinic. Is that what it's called?
Generoso Health.
Oh, Generoso Health in Castle Rock. And so she's not controlled by institutions or major health corporations. She can do what she wants, practice medicine the way she thinks it should be practiced, and she focuses on reducing medication, lifestyle changes, what we can do to stay healthy, which is really health care. It's not sick care. So let's see. Yeah, she and her family, they have 3 wonderful children who are very musically talented as well as smart and everything, and they enjoy doing lots of outdoor activities. They are members of Whipple Creek Adventist Church. So we're really glad that Dr. Arvi was able to come and speak to us. So I think, are you going to start from here and go there? Okay.
Over there. Are you ready for me? Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. So how did you hear about this program? Friend? What? Friday night group, friends. Did you advertise on, how about the fair? Who went to the fair and got some stuff? Okay, good. So this is one of my passion. I am a medical doctor. People think I'm a naturopath, but I'm not. I'm a medical doctor, trained like everyone else, but have found the love for natural medicine because I saw the limitations of traditional medicine. Is that fair? Okay. Even in my own self, right? I used to travel with pharmacy. I make sure that I have something for nausea, for dizziness, for constipation, for diarrhea, whatever. And I'm always trying to make sure that they are not expired. So I check them, and I have a child who will not take a pill, so I have suppositories. So I travel with that. But now I travel with what I will share with you today, which is the oils. And this morning at 7, I just gave an online class of a little bit more robust topic than this, but a little bit of this online, and I was on the call for 2 hours. But it's just, I'm so passionate about it because I have seen, I think, something that works, something that's simple enough to do at home, something that doesn't cause side effects that you need another drug to counteract, right? And something that really the one who created us has given, very simple. And it does take a little bit of work than popping a pill, but it is in the long run of benefit to us, okay? So I will share with you what I have learned, some of my personal experiences with my family. When our family is sick, we take it like on-the-job training. There's new things to learn whenever somebody is sick and new things to share. So my bio is, I have 20 plus years of experience in medicine. Let me think. Yeah. 20 plus years. I'm an internal medicine doctor. When I was in the Philippines, I worked as an ER and urgent care physician. I really enjoyed that, but I'm glad to be out of that. I'm in primary care now. This is who you go to stay healthy, right? To stay healthy, to catch things early, to troubleshoot some things. And for me, my passion is health education. Because I don't want to be saying the same things over. We want to equip people to take care of this body so that next time they know what to do. And they don't like, what am I going to do with this? Okay? So a lot of health education, a lot of common sense when you use natural remedies. And like what Dr. Chung said, is how can I get off some of these meds that I'm taking? And what I tell them, it's an exchange. It's not a pill for an ill, a pill for every ill, but there are things in the lifestyle or in the mind that causes that symptom, and how can we reverse that or change it? Okay. And then I do lectures and conferences, and as I've said, personal experience. Our laboratory room is our family. Okay. My sources are medmissionary.com. That was the lecture I gave earlier today at 7. Of course, my medical knowledge, as a physician, we do go through a lot of training, and we constantly learn. I always learn from patients. I love it because it's an exchange of information and experience. Hands-on, which I really, kudos to the team, Miss Kim and Miss Pam and the rest of the team for creating some of these for you to do and take home. You're not just watching, you're actually doing. And when you do, you can say, I can do this at home. It's easy. And when it works, you can say, hey, try this remedy that works, right? And then everybody's healthier that way. And you're not just going to pop a NyQuil or a DayQuil. The Bible and prophecy is my guide, as with wisdom and prayer. So many times. One story that I will share with you later is about my child, short of breath, wheezing, middle of the night, so exhausted, mom, me. What will I do, Lord? And these are the things that I will share. Okay, so your body is governed by laws, right? I was driving here. If I break the law and drive in the middle of the road, what will happen? Somebody will get a ticket, but somebody can get really injured, right? So driving speed, keeping on your lane, red and green and orange, these are the things that keep things in order, right? The universe in space, sleeping and waking up. Our body also has these remedies that we have to be in the lane. And then we'll go through that very briefly. And I'll share with you quotations from a book that I really love to read and I recommend for you. And I think we'll have some books to give away on that if later on, whoever answers the question. Is that fair? Or whoever is here first, or whoever drove the farthest. Maybe that's me. Okay, we'll see. So this is New Start, and a lot of you are familiar with that. And we'll just go through them one by one. Okay? N is nutrition. You are what you eat. Every cell in your body doesn't live forever. Is that true? Right? Every cell in your body has an expiration, depending on the cell. So the skin is sloughed off. That's why there's dust. And then your hair falls and new hair grows, right? Every cell. That's it. Actually, I thought the skin is the highest turnover rate of cells. It's actually your gut. Each cell lives for about 1 to 3 days because you drink, you eat, it sloughs off. A new cell is created. And when you cook, do you need ingredients? Yes? New ingredients, fresh ingredients. That's the body. When it needs a new cell, it needs a new ingredient. And where will it get that ingredient? From what? Your food, right? Your protein, right? For your structure, your muscle, your heart muscle, your smooth muscle. Your carbohydrate is for you to use, but mainly the cholesterol actually is what makes your cell, it has a cell that doesn't break. Cholesterol is embedded in each part of that cell for the integrity of the cell. Otherwise, it will collapse. So I always say, you are what you eat. So what are you made of today? What am I made of today? Am I made of chips, processed food, chocolates? Or am I made of whole foods and tough fiber that will make my body strong? Does that make sense? Right? What are we made of? Are we made out of some cookies, ice cream? Or maybe healthy fats like chia seeds and flax seeds and avocados and salads? So we do become what we eat in the long run. So here is a quote from the Ministry of Healing, page 295. Those foods should be chosen that best supply the elements needed for building up the body. In this choice, appetite is not a safe guide. Is that right? Right? And when I was giving a lecture, I got an impression that everybody has a 3-year-old that wants that ice cream right now. I don't want to wait. And then the adult in us have to tame that 3-year-old and say, no, you're not going to have an ice cream. This is not the right kind of day, not the right kind of food. So the adult should really tame that 3-year-old that is present in everybody, even myself. So higher knowledge versus appetite. Oh, what will we become if we make appetite our guide? Exercise. Have you been doom scrolling 2 hours and you're like, you're so stiff? Or even driving for a long time, right? Yeah, that's the term for my kids, doom scrolling. Oh, short. Anyway, we need circulation and blood flow. When you're not moving, you're stiff. My patients say, well, after I watch TV, I stand up and my body's creaking, right? It's true because you're stiff, you're not moving. Then all of a sudden you want to move. So movement is key. I was watching yesterday at church because I wanted the mother to listen to the sermon. He was almost 2 years old. What do you think he was doing? Was he sitting still? Oh, he was moving. So I took him out and he was running around the yard, running around. I'm like, wow. What energy. And I was just sitting and watching him. I'm like, we are made to move. When people retire, I always tell them, don't park yourself in front of the TV. You're going to rust. You have to keep moving. The healthiest people I see are people that are intentionally exercising. I have a gentleman that is 80 plus who does 16 miles 3 times a week on the bike. And farmers, people with gardens, people that weed and struggle with that weed and hoe and dig. They are so healthy and fit. Not me. Okay? So, what you don't use, you lose. So true. So don't park yourself in front of the TV. And then mental health is so huge with exercise. So, Ministry of Health, page 236. Inactivity is a fruitful cause of disease. Isn't that right? For the life of the flesh is in the blood. See, when our heart doesn't pump, it doesn't go where it needs to go. It's just like, okay, this is my description. Well, later on in the water. But our circulation is so key that I was driving through I-5 very quick, and then if we're dehydrated and we're not exercising, that blood flow goes from a 4-lane highway to a 1-lane country gravel road. It's so slow. Your blood is slow and you wonder, why am I so foggy? I'm not thinking clear. Just a little movement will wake you up, right? Okay, next is water. Okay, have you tried cleaning your bathroom with coffee? How about your kitchen counter? Does that work? Soda, will that work? And yet, that's what we use inside our body, right? My patients say, it's water. I put water in my coffee. It ceases to be water when you put something inside of it. You see, you shower outside your body, you have to shower inside too. And what works outside works inside. Water is best. There is no substitute to water. And this is when your water, have you seen a creek here in Washington, so beautiful, Washington, Oregon. Creek, clear, flowing beautifully, right? How about a canal? Sluggish, full of stuff. That's like the visual that I say to tell people. Water in, water out. It is the source of energy. If you're dehydrated, one time I went to a morning walk. I did the morning walk and I was dehydrated. I'm like, why am I struggling at every step? And I realized I was so dehydrated. What is the most dehydrated time of day for people? Why morning? You've been sleeping all night, you didn't drink. You know, I weighed myself before sleep, and then I weighed myself even without going to the bathroom in the morning, and I lost 2 pounds from vapor. You're breathing. When you're breathing, the moisture is lost, right? So first, I also sit. Where's my water bottle? I have a water bottle beside me in my bed. So when I wake up, I take a sip, or I just drink. We need to drink. In health and in sickness, pure water is one of heaven's choicest blessings. Its proper use promotes health. It is the beverage which God provided to quench the thirst of animals and men. I bet you no animal will drink coffee, right? It's not, even they have good instincts than us. And people say, I can't wake up without coffee. I say, when you were a child, were you caffeinated? But you're active, right? So I do advise people what's called like maybe the Christian wake up. Do some aerobic exercise, some jumping jacks, up and down, squats or whatever to keep your heart rate up, and take a cold shower. You think you'll wake up? I wake up in a cold shower. I dread it, but it does work. It's not 10 minutes. It's just a few seconds to just like, whoa. Okay, friends, we are in the Northwest here, where the sun sets half the year, almost, right? Do you feel like you're solar powered? You feel happier and more active in the summer? I know I do. My mood is better. I do accomplish more. So we are solar powered. I do not see cough and colds in the summertime. Nobody needs me, barely. But as soon as the sun sets, Dr. Geroso, can you see me? I have a cough. I have this. I have this. It's because the sun is down. The bacteria that is killed by the sun, our immune system. They did a study in, I think, Ireland. Really, the cough and colds and the common colds went up as soon as it's winter, fall and winter. So vitamin D is not as good as natural. It's really good to make vitamin D. It stores in the fat cells. So sunbathing before 10 a.m., about 30 minutes. If you're dark-skinned, a little bit longer. That's kind of your storage form. I do recommend checking vitamin D levels. Insurance doesn't usually pay it. They tell us just treat it. And to me, it's like, what am I treating? What level am I starting, right? So it's good to check before winter. The lab is called 25-hydroxy vitamin D. If you're Medicare, they don't usually pay that unless you have kidney disease or some parathyroid deficiency problem. It's $250 if you have insurance and they don't pay. But did you know that you can order your own lab at Quest? They have a self-pay option. And that $250 becomes $50 for you on a self-pay option on Quest. So that's what I ask patients to do. The level I target is 75 to 100. The normal level is about, I think, 25 to 50, but I always push towards the high. I have never seen vitamin D toxicity before. I think the body uses what it needs. In the Philippines, there's a lot of sun. Have you experienced putting out a stinky smelling something in the sun and then, right? The smell is gone. So that's what we should do to our body too, right? Get a little bit of sun. Here's another problem. What's the biggest problem in the moist Northwest? Mold and mildew. You know, I had a patient, they left their house for a vacation, quite extended, and something broke in their temperature regulation. They came home in a moldy home. It was so hard to clean up. So what is anti-mold? That's the sun. Open your drapes, open your windows, get the sun out as much as possible. Death-producing germs abound in the dark, neglected corners, in dampness, and mold and mildew. Am I speaking too fast? I didn't drink caffeine, I promise. No, I'm not. I gave a lecture one time, and I was talking about the danger of caffeine because I am a recovering caffeine dependent. During residency, I forgot everything my good mom told me, and I lived on coffee. And then after that, the Lord gave me freedom. Praise the Lord. So I'm not talking down on you. I'm talking from on a level where I've been there, and I know God has a better way. Amen. Amen. Okay, let's go to temperance. Well, this is the 3-year-old we need to tame. Yes. Oh, like the vitamin? Good question. I'm going to go back to that. When I do advise vitamins, I do go for liquid. Because there's no interface between you and absorbing it, right? It goes to your gut and it crosses the gut to blood barrier. If you're taking tablet, then you're dependent on it, melting, and then the capsule sometimes is thick. So I go for liquid, organic, and plant-based. The dose is usually 2,000 to 5,000, but I think it's good to check your level, especially in the fall, so you know how much you need to replace to get you through the winter time. Because, I had a patient, vitamin D, so big here. She was in Florida. She's used to a lot of sun. Then she came here in the winter time, and then she became so depressed. She was so depressed. She doesn't understand it. Her vitamin level was, I think, below 10. And that's really low, because our goal is 75 to 100. No antidepressants, just replacements of vitamin D, and she was like her old self again. She went back to Florida. Good for her. But I'm not going to live there. Maybe I'll visit. All right. So remember, everybody has a how old? Maybe a 2-year-old, 3-year-old tugging on your skirt. Mommy, I like that chips. I like that ice cream. Give me that whatever. And this is reason over impulse. I do teach no caffeine and no alcohol. I just had a patient, and he's younger, about 50s, and he said, I drink every day to relax. And I challenged him. He said, I don't drink because I love my brain. You love your brain? Who loves their brain? Alcohol is neurotoxic, not just to your mind, brain, but every cell in your body. I have patients that are suffering from nerve pain because of alcohol. So I challenged him. I said, zero alcohol. You don't need it. I need to relax. Don't watch stimulating TV. Don't watch the news, right? I didn't hear a reaction there. I prescribe that. No news at night. Read it. Don't watch it. It's just the emotion and the picture. It's like almost a telenovela. Read it. All you need to know is what happened. And then now I met him. He said, I can't believe nobody told me not to drink alcohol. I said, can I tell you why? Because most doctors drink alcohol. They can't really tell you not to drink if they think it's okay to have a glass of wine at night, right? But red wine is good for the heart. Who's heard that before? Is that true? I tell them grapes is good for the heart, right? The phytonutrients from the grape is good for the heart. The fermentation that creates wine is not good for anything. Yeah. Maybe the slugs. Would that work? The slugs? I don't know. So tobacco, of course, I do not teach moderation in everything. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you you can moderately smoke. Will somebody be logical to say that? No. So this is true temperance teaches to disperse entirely with everything hurtful. Everything hurtful should be a 0. It's a no. And to use judiciously or moderately that which is helpful. Does that make sense? Right? If I drink a lot of water, there's a disease called hyponatremia, the psychological need to drink gallons and gallons and gallons of water. You can drop your sodium that you're going to have a seizure. Not good. How about if you sleep the whole day? Sleep good? Well, what if you sleep 21 hours a day? Is that good? So moderation in the good, abstinence in the bad. Well, they say caffeine is an antioxidant, and it's good for your brain. So do you want to do something that's partially good and partially bad? Or do you want to do something that's only good? What is the choice, right? So I'm here to give you information, but I will ask for a decision too. So if it's tugging in your heart, who will want to attempt to stop drinking coffee here? Oh, maybe nobody's drinking anymore. Question? Caffeine patches. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Yeah. Alzheimer's it's a very complicated illness. A lot of tangles in the brain. which I watched a lecture before by a medical physician, is related to all the gunk in the brain that doesn't get cleaned up. It's like, the waste material is not cleaned out. Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes. Super beet? Beets is good. I like beet. Sorry? Oh, okay. Well, there's always, like, I have never seen a supplement that will reverse Alzheimer's by itself, but a lot of things you can do to at least not make it worse. So there is no one pill for that. But beets is great. I like beets. I know it's high in nutrition. I just won't tell you that it will reverse the memory issue. It's a very complex disease that needs multifaceted treatment. Does that make sense? Multi-angled treatment. Okay, next. So this is a PET scan of your brain before coffee. You want blood in your head? Not outside the head. You want like blood flow to the brain? Yes. What happens when there is no blood flow to the organ of the body? It dies. What happens if the organ receives less blood flow? Will it grow or shrink? It actually shrinks. So you see the middle is the corpus callosum. That's the communication from right or left. The front is the frontal lobe where you reason, you have impulse control, judgment. It's here. This is what makes you, you. And then the smaller part is on the top and the middle part is here. So do you want a blood-filled red brain? Yes? And here's a picture of the same person after coffee in a PET scan. PET scan is a blood flow scan, side by side. Would you like a black and blue brain? That's what happens. This is like, because caffeine is a vasoconstrictor, so your 4-lane highway becomes a single-lane gravel country road, and everything is tight. So that really makes sense. Oh, doctor, I only drink 1 cup of coffee a day. Some drugs are taken once a day, and it's enough to keep the level high in your body. So there is really that risk. I don't know. This is what I like to talk about this because I was once there. And so something to think about, okay? Who here? Yes. Yes. Earl Grey, green tea, black tea, chocolate, hot chocolate, even decaf has caffeine. Yeah. So there are a lot of herbal teas that are 0 caffeine that actually are medicinal, like dandelion and turmeric and ginger, Yeah? Sorry? Oh, okay, later. Okay. Okay, good question. I was just giving this lecture. The stimulation of caffeine is the gastric irritation. There is a very big highway of gut and brain. Have you been eating dinner and all of a sudden the conversation turns sour and then you have cramping? Or you're going to get an exam, that's me, you're anxious and you have diarrhea? There's a big connection. So the caffeine irritates the stomach, which sends impulses to the brain to have temporary alertness, because it's really irritation. Oh, it's a laxative? Just take magnesium. Yeah. Yes. Magnesium is so good. It's so good for your gut, good for your muscles, good for your sleep. Some of my patients take magnesium for sleep. And then coffee borrows your energy for tomorrow. I needed to wake up because you're withdrawing from caffeine. And then you need another dose again. It takes about 2 weeks to flush it out of your system with hydration, hot and cold shower. Okay? Yes? Usually glycinate is more gentle on the gut. And then you use the dose that is good for you. You can start once a day, you can go 2 a day. But you'll know that you overdose on magnesium when you have diarrhea because it is the content of laxative, is magnesium. Glycinate? Yeah. Okay, air. Whew. Can you breathe? How many minutes can the brain survive without air? About 3 minutes. But my daughter said that these free divers can hold their breath for 10 minutes. I said that's not normal. So we need to breathe, right? Oxygen to the air keeps you alert. Have you been in a closed room like this or in the bedroom? How many percent is the oxygen tension in the air? 21. When I learned that in science, I'm like, Lord, that's not for us. We need oxygen. So opening the windows at night, having a good draft of air is always a good idea. Early morning, cold air, negative ions, running water, waterfalls, flowing river, ocean. That's why you feel better. It's because it creates this negative ion, good circulation in your body. In order to have good blood, we must breathe well. Full, deep inspiration. This is related to exercise and exertion. Pure air, which fill the lungs with oxygen, purify the blood. And it does change. The color of your blood goes from almost dark maroon, if it's not oxygen filled, to a bright, bright red when you have a lot of oxygen. So we need that. Rest. Okay, we need to sleep. Glymphatic system is the cleanup system of the brain, especially between 9 p.m. to midnight. It creates a better mood. If you don't sleep well, are you happy and sparkly the next day? You're irritable, you don't want to talk to anybody, you're sluggish. I know I am. You're like zombie, right? Because you didn't sleep. In order to have, oh, that's the same as the blood. I have to change that, sorry. So there is a daily rest, right? I was asking why is there 24 hours, and my friend said, well, 8 hours to sleep, 8 hours to do what you need to do at work, and 8 hours to do recreation and catch up with friends and do some other fun stuff, right? There is a daily rest and there is a weekly rest. There is nothing ever that says that you have to do 7 days a week. But the body knows that. Even animals know that. Have you heard of the beavers that don't work on 1 day a week? Yeah, it's called the 7-day beavers. They're quiet. Well, we need that. Who has worked here for 7 days straight without break? Are you happy? No, you need that. Finally, it's here. I can rest. Did you know that in the French Revolution, I think they made it 10 days to 1 weekend? They changed the cycle to 10 days, and then another place changed it to 5 days, like 3-2, and the other one is 10-2. It didn't work. We are created on a cycle. Our breathing is a cycle. Our brain is a cycle. And second is trust in God who created you and loves you. You are not alone and there is hope. Have you created yourself? Right? And here's one other thing that I was trying to teach my 12-year-old. Who needs to eat? Yes? If you need to eat, does that mean you can produce food or you need it from outside yourself? Outside. How about water? Yes? And air and everything we need, it's because we can't produce it. If we produce it, we don't need it. Does that make sense? Do you know that babies, if they don't get that cuddle and connection in their first year of life, they don't grow naturally? They don't grow normally? It's because we need, what do we need? That 4-letter word. We need love. And because I need love, that means I don't produce love. Is that right? And then why are we then demanding this love from our spouse? And we expect our spouse to be perfect, always there, saying the right things at the right time, right? It's because of this. I'm going to segue here. We have created a source from somebody who is not a real source of love. So my child is, Mommy, I need a hug. No, you get love from God and then you can give me a hug. I am not God who will provide all your needs. But yes, we do take care of each other. That is a deeper topic that we can explore another day, but it's very phenomenal. Any questions? Oh, good. So lymphatic system is the cleaning system of the entire body. Glymphatic is the one in the brain. So it is the best between 9 to midnight to clean up all the gunk that has stuck in your brain. Yes, it just has a G. Yeah, glymphatic system. Why? Oh, okay. I don't know about that, but I know that we are on a cycle. Remember, you're on a rhythm. There's morning, there's evening, there's inhale, there's exhale. Even our brain has waves. That's why even a heartbeat, lub, dub, lub, dub. People will AFib know that if they feel it, it's so taxing. That's the same with music. When you hear all of this irregular music, one time I was at work, and there was this loud blaring music, and it's so irregular, I turned it down, and they said, oh, that's what's making me anxious. Yeah, so that's that. So we're going to go to our, oh, you want to stand up and take a break? Okay, then we're going to transition to our hands-on. Yes, just stretch. I will still keep on talking. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. My mom always told me that when I was young. There are Bible examples of natural remedies. King Naaman was asked to wash in the Jordan 7 times. That is a form of hydrotherapy, right? Hezekiah had a sore. He was extended for 15 years, and he was told to put a lump of figs for a poultice because it has sugar and enzymes to break down. And you know, Jesus put a clay poultice on somebody's eyes to open the eyes of the blind and then wash and do hydrotherapy after. Isn't that great? Okay, everybody breathe in, hands up. Breathe out through your nose and shoulder roll. Okay, walk in place about 15 times. Very good. Okay, while taking inhale. Okay, now stretch, stretch, roll your shoulder again. All right, good, good, good. We're ready. Oxygen, you can keep on standing. You need to breathe through your nose. The Lord has put some hairs there to filter dust and also to warm your air before it's introduced to the throat. Can you sustain mouth breathing for a long time? It's so hard. Your mouth becomes dry. So actually what I learned is even when you're congested, you force yourself to breathe through your nose and soon enough your nose opens up. Is that crazy? I tried that and it worked. And then once it goes through your lung and it goes through these small air sacs. Number 1. Oh, our garlic broth. I'm going to go there and show you how quick it is to make a garlic broth that is anti-inflammatory. And it doesn't taste or smell like garlic at all or onion. So first you need a few cups of water. Okay, but turn on. Is it on? By the way, Miss Pam created these handouts that we're going to give away for a prize. I'm still figuring out what's gonna the question be. For your easy access, you can keep this in your kitchen for reference later. Is it on? Okay, good. Yes, hi, good. Thank you. So we'll put water there. Thank you. I think that's enough. And then you get a medium-sized onion. I say like, is that good? Big a man's fist. I like yellow because it will create a golden broth. I don't like purple because it gives me a gray broth. And then usually I just remove the crispy part of it, but this one that's not too crispy, I keep that. I learned in one lecture that it has higher sulfates. That's what it has. The sulfates is the one that creates medicinal properties. It's the one that makes you cry when you're cutting the onion because your eyes have pores. Is that right, Dr. Chung? There you go. All right, so you cut that, and then, okay, there's still crispy part there that we're going to remove and keep the other ones. So my children make this, so if they make it, you can do it too, right? And if they drink it, because they're children, you can't force them to drink what they don't want. They like it. It's so soothing. So if they like it, I think you can tolerate it. We're going to sample this in a little bit here. So very, very quickly, quarter the onion. Throw it in the water, and then you're going to do garlic, okay? What does your recipe say? How many cloves of garlic? Can we have trash here? A little bit, or even just a bowl. 2 cloves of garlic. I'm going to add more because we're going to sample this later, by the way. Yeah. Oh, I didn't use the one I watched on Facebook on how to do this. But I'm going to crush it. And in one of the lectures that I went to is the allicin, A-L-L-I-C-N. That's the medicinal property of garlic. And it comes out when this is crushed. Okay. All right. Do I include the skin? No. Okay, that's perfect. We'll just put it here. Yeah, I'll just pick it up. You know, when I cook as I go. Well, I barely cook, so that's not fair, right? Yeah, my kids cook. And my husband and my parents are here from the Philippines. They're here for 9 weeks. Yes, so I have cooks. Okay, so you have to peel it, just peel. Okay. And then you're going to simmer it for 10 minutes, and we're going to wait, and we're going to sample at the end. I promise it doesn't taste like garlic. It is a tea. Some of my patients kind of put an immersion blender and include all of it all together. I just like the broth like a tea. You can put this in the fridge, and it will last for about 3 days for you to warm again, because I like it warm. Okay? And then you're going to season with salt. I use Celtic salt. Celtic salt is harvested in the ocean on low tide, and they use clay pots. Clay pots has minerals, and I think it kind of goes to that too. How much salt? It depends on how salty you want it. Okay. All right. So we're going to leave that. It's going to simmer for 10 minutes. It will create a golden broth, and then we will try it. Is that enough? We'll see. Okay. That's what that. Can somebody turn my slide? What's next? Okay, Dr. Chang, thank you. Okay, sinus massage. You have oils in your table to share, and you're going to use the eucalyptus oil, small eucalyptus oil. You only need a dab on your finger. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands. Usually this is not strong. Please don't make the mistake of using the oregano oil. That is disaster. But if you ever do that, if you make a mistake of using oregano in your face, which I did on one of the lectures I gave, put olive oil and it just neutralizes it immediately. Otherwise, it burns. So what I do is I put my child on the bed, and then I massage here, right, and across here. Do it to yourself right now while we're talking. Do you want me out there? I can move there, just for this one. Huh? We're okay? Oh, because of the camera. Let's stay here. And also here, in between, you actually have foramen or holes where arteries, nerves go through to the sinuses. So you find that dip here, and then you massage it there too. Okay? And then you also have these two dips here, the mental foramen. I like massaging that there too. And you know your masseter, that big jaw muscle? Just open your mouth halfway and then just press at the belly. And then massage down. It's so relaxing. I need a cot to nap here right now. All right? And so what I do with my kids is I lay them down, and then I do this massage. Then I massage their head, and then you massage your neck a little bit there. And then they just go to sleep, and they have a good rest. Okay? When they're sleeping, the next thing is oil inhalation. So do you have that tissue in front of you? Can I have one pull, please? Yeah. Yes. Facial tissue. This trick I learned from a patient. So you have the facial tissue, and then you put a little bit of the eucalyptus, maybe like 2 dabs, okay? And so when my child is already sleeping and just very comfortable, not congested because of the massage, I just put this over their face. Because then they can smell it. And then it just falls over when they turn, and that's fine, as long as they got a few breaths in. Did you try it? It's so good. Do you mind if I lecture this way? It opens up your nose, right? And then I also put it in their feet. And then also in the sides of their pillow. So when they turn, they also smell that. And just opens up their nose, and they're comfortable and they feel rested, because when they rest, then they feel better in the morning. Is my mic working? Yeah, okay. So that's it. We did 2 already, yes. No. Eucalyptus is not so painful like oregano. Yeah, I don't mix it with carrier. It's 100%. And then you can also alternatively use peppermint. I like that too. Okay? All right, so you have 2 things now, so that you're not going to get NyQuil, you're going to do this. The next is an inhalation. This is my favorite. Before, when I get sick, hold on. When I get sick before, I always ask my friends to prescribe me a Z-Pack. Prescribe me a Z-Pack. I need it. But now, I don't know when I last took an antibiotic. I used to take it 1 to 2 times a year. So just get a pot bigger than this. I just use this for demo, right? And then you put water inside, right? So, and then make it boil. And then you put 2 drops of oregano, very small. If you're very sensitive, just put 1, because it really burns. It's very strong, but that's what you want. So you put 2 drops of oregano on a spoon. Okay. And then you put, while it's steaming, you put the oregano over here outside. Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes. Uh-huh. So that we know you know. The bigger the pot, the longer your steam will work. And actually, I even do this over the stove so that it keeps going, you know. I do this with my children. I don't do it over the stove with them. I put Audric in my lap, and then we go under the towel here. So you put the oregano about 1 or 2 drops away from the steam. The reason for that, they said, is it will neutralize it because of the steam. And then you mix it quick in the water. Of course, it will not mix because it's water and oil, but it's enough to spread it around. And then you just, I'm sure your parents taught you this, right? You go under the towel, and then you go there. And breathe, 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 breathe. 2 things you need before you do that. Number 1, you need Kleenex beside you, because you're going to drain and clean your sinuses. So lots of blowing, lots of blowing. Then another thing that I do is I have a cup of ice, like ice cubes, and I just put it over my face when I'm done to close my pores, because it's so hot. Does that make sense? So, because sometimes it's so hot that, your face is so warm, so I get ice cubes and I just run it over my face and wipe my face. Question? Oh, you just wash your face with cold water. Yes, you have to close the pores. And for me, no, it's not because it's not effective, but also when you're in the shower and you're in hot water, it opens your sinuses and you're more congested. But if you run cold water in your face, because some people, I went home and my daughter was doing a snorkeling on cold water to help her sinuses. Like she has a bowl of water, then she has a crooked straw, and she was like that while breathing through the straw. Because the cold closes everything and reduces congestion. So the ice has more than just closing the pores. Does that make sense? For the child, you go with them and you just do what they're willing to do. Because you don't want them to not do it. And, you just do what they're willing to do. But for me to avoid infection, so I don't take an antibiotic, I do it 4 times a day. So I really have to do the ice because my face is like hot. All right, next. All right, here you go. In your table, everybody has this, okay? And in your table, everybody has a plastic spoon. So what you're going to do, and I will do it with you. Is this working? Okay. You're going to get this onion that they have run in the food processor. You're just going to fill, I think, to 3/4. Thank you. I'm going to take this home. You're gonna fill this thing here. See? You're gonna fill it with the onion. About 3/4 of the way. Try to get the juice because that's what you like. That's what you'd want. Okay. Okay. No, okay. Now you're going to get a new spoon, a clean spoon for the honey, and you're going to put about this amount, a tablespoon here, or like, yeah, this amount is fine. And mix it well. New spoon for the honey. Yes. There's more there. Yeah. You have a lot of plastic spoons. So, you're going to put it in your onion, and you're going to try to mix it as well as you can. Mix as well as you can. You might need another spoon to remove the honey because it's sticky. Well, that's what I would do. Okay. There you go. Try to get the onion juice. That's really what you want. But all of this is fine. It's all good. Okay. Okay, try to mix it. You might use the other spoon to kind of mix it together and let go of the honey. Raise your hand if you have questions. Okay, mixing. Do your best to mix. Thank you, Pam. You okay? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for preparing all of this. Mix well. Okay. Mix well with the juice. Because what you're going to do is you're going to take 1 tablespoon of the juice 3 times a day. But when it's this macerated, I would just take the whole thing. Because the honey will neutralize the taste of the strong onion. My children take this themselves, so if they take it, must be okay, right? It's true. And you can, I don't think when it's this finely chopped, you will not be able to strain it. But if you chop it a little bit bigger, then you can strain the fluid. Okay, and you'll see that there's more liquid now with the honey drawing up the liquid inside the onion. Okay, we're going to leave it there. Okay, you're done. You're going to close it. And we're going to get back to it later. Good? I'm going to go around and see. Good workshop. Yes?
So this is for the cough medicine?
Yes. Mix it well.
So we got 1 teaspoon of honey and then we got onions.
Yes.
So mix it. Question. So this is for the cough. But then what do you do for a
What?
for the like if they have stomach
Oh,
stomach virus?
I know. This is a respiratory lecture. That's
Not
another
the
day.
stomach.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this
So
is
adenoids,
that.
with what for adenoids?
Onion is very anti-inflammatory. So I'd say yes. Yeah. Hi. Sorry, I'm gonna walk my way around here. Hi.
Can you add more honey if you want?
You can. Yeah. But usually it's 1 cup to 1 tablespoon. That's the ratio, okay, of chopped. Okay, good. Very good. I'm excited to take mine. Not that I have a cough. Good. Oh, you're going to put that there. All right. Are we ready for the next one? Oh, do you have an extra, something like this in your, an extra bottle in your table? Okay. Do you have water? Okay. So the next one we're going to do, oh, this is clicking already. Okay, we have about maybe 5 minutes of that. The next thing we're going to do is what's called an oregano gargle. So your cups are smaller, but this is a 12 ounce. This is actually, I took this from my bathroom because this is my mouthwash. 8 ounces of water in a glass jar. You add 3 to 5 drops of oregano, mix well, and gargle. When I'm not feeling well, I drink it. I drink like just a gulp a day in the morning. When I have a sore throat, I make it really strong. I gargle it, and I feel a burn in my throat, but my sore throat doesn't continue when I do it. So can they use the other bottle? If you want, you have extra bottles there, and you have do you have oregano oil in your oil? Oh, you come here and I'll give you some. Okay? Just put water in your cup, and then we're going to put oregano, and it will be your mouthwash. I don't buy any commercial mouthwash. This is what I use for myself. And it's what I use for sore throat. But I like it hot, so I put a lot of oregano. For children, I will do less. Maybe like, yeah. Okay. Huh? Yeah. You want strong? Okay. And you can refill. Okay, only one if it's that amount. And mix it well with your plastic cup. Okay, that's strong, okay? Fair warning. To gargle, but when you're not feeling well, you can drink, but only a gulp. I wouldn't drink too much of it. I really just drink a gulp, and then you'll just put water later. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. Take it home, and that will be, put it beside your toothbrush, because that can be your mouthwash. That's my mouthwash. No alcohol mouthwash for me. And I make it strong, but that's me. I like it hot.
What about using fresh?
Oregano? Usually it has, I don't know. I have not tried it with that.
So you heat it before you do it?
No, I don't heat it. I just like it hot because the oregano is hot. It burns.
So you prefer warm water?
No, not necessarily. Yeah. You want some? Okay. Oh, I turned this off. Okay. Once this is cooled, we can put them on the cups later. It is ready, but it needs to cool down. Okay, thank you. Oh, yeah, go ahead and get. Thank you. You good? Okay, that was fun. Yes. The next thing I'm going to share is charcoal gargle. Okay? So I have here water, about 8 ounces on this. And then I put, every home should have activated powdered charcoal. If you don't have one, please get one. You can get capsules, easy to ingest. I have both. I have capsules and I have powder. You know, when we work in the ER, right, Dr. Russell, somebody took something, they always ask them to give charcoal. Always, because of the charge. So this is what I do, is I put 8 ounces, that's in your handout. Oh, 4 ounces in 1 teaspoon. But here I'm going to do 8 ounces in, can I have a spoon, please? Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Russell. So, and then I just have like here, this much, about this much. And then I mix it around. Yes. That's right. I always use plastic because of the charge. They say the charge changes. I think it will still work, but not as much. So you see this? This is called the charcoal drink. So what do I use it for? Sore throat, abdominal pain, diarrhea. If you ate too much of oil and it gives you cramping, just take a gulp of this or a little bit. But this is a respiratory lecture, but this can be used for other things too. If my child has sore throat, we just mix it up, and then he will slowly drink it, and it coats the throat, and it reduces the inflammation. So it doesn't move on. So like, even in the middle of the night, he'll wake me up, Mom, my throat is itchy. So we make something like this, and we give about 2 to 3 of this much to him, as much as he wants to take, and then he will just sleep, and it will stop the itching. Yeah. Sorry, mouth sores? Cold sores? Canker sores? It can work on canker sores, although for canker sores, I like bentonite clay, golden seal. Yeah, hold on, I need to gargle. No, I'm going to drink it. It's so sharp. Okay, that's mine, personal. Okay, next slide. Gargle slowly, charcoal. Don't go home without putting an order for charcoal, please, or go to your local health food store and get some charcoal. This one, I wouldn't get anything. I won't be brand conscious here, as long as it's food grade and organic. Charcoal. That's it, activated charcoal. So charcoal is the wood that didn't become ash, right? It's like partially burnt wood, and they activate it by exposing it to high heat to create more dents in the crevices. And it adsorbs, so then all the things that you ate will not cross your gut to blood, and you just expel it. That's the... Okay, here's another remedy for sore throat that is my favorite. You get a handkerchief, like so, right? Then you can fold it this way, and I use this myself if I need to. I sleep with it. I put this on my children. Then you make it wet. Okay, I have just regular tap water wet. Then you squeeze it. Then you wrap it on your neck. Feels good. Oops. Okay, hold on. Huh? When you have a sore throat. Yeah, you can do it with a cold too. But I've done it for okay. All right, I'm going to just remove this for now because I'm going to put this over my neck. Then you put a scarf over it. This is long enough. Just put a scarf over it and walk around the house like that. And then when you feel like the water, when you feel like, when you feel like, is that better? When you feel like the water is getting dry, the hanky's getting dry, do it again. Make it cold again, make it wet again, and wrap it again. And then you can sleep with it. When you wake up, this handkerchief will be dry. And what you do is you just wipe your neck with cold water. And it's good. I've tried that. It burned. Yeah, I would just do water. Water. Just water. Yeah, it's a hydrotherapy with heat exchange. That's what happens. I just do tap water, and I really like it a little bit cool because you're going to wrap it anyway. Feels good. Yeah. So did you hear that? Leave overnight, will dry, then perform cold water rub in the morning. So that means you have like that, you have a washcloth that's wet. Next slide, please. Ooh, this is my favorite, contrast showers. I'm sure some of you do this already. You go for hot as you can tolerate. Then you go for cold very quickly. And then you do it for 3 to 5 cycles, always ending in cold. And then you dry up, and then you rest. you have to rest. For 30 minutes, you go to your bed and take a nap. So what that does is it pumps the circulation, and then the cold, don't you feel that shock? Wah! Right? That shock wakes up your natural killer cells so that they can like, what's going on? What's going on here? And then they can fight off whatever it is that you've ingested. Make sense? Try it. I love that. And then it's exhausting. 3 to 5 cycles of hot and cold leaves you exhausted, and you will really go to rest. Okay, I think that's the last slide, right? You start. Yes, question. Oh, NK cells, natural killer cells. Question. Hot, cold. That's the ideal. The first time you do it, you will not get there. So I always say, just stay in the hot as long as you can tolerate, and then your body will tell you, I'm too hot. Then you switch to the cold, and you're like, relieved, and then you go to that's one cycle. Then you do it 3 to 5, and then you go to rest. It's just, when I'm about to get sick, that's what I do. I take a rest, I do that, and then I just call off one day, and it doesn't progress. I don't get sick when I try to arrest it this way. Okay? Good. All right. That's the end of our demo, and we have questions and prizes. Okay, who drove the farthest here? Just shout your mileage. No, it doesn't count if you went to Portland and went home and came here. Huh? 20 miles. Where are you from? On Alaska, Toledo. 37. 40. Oh, we have a winner. Is it both of you 40? No, not 40? Help me out here. Who drove the farthest? Map your address. Okay, we'll go back to it. 37. Okay, go back to it, and we'll go back to it. Okay, how many % of blood flow is reduced from the brain when you drink coffee? First hand up. How many % of blood flow to the brain you reduce your blood flow to the brain when you drink coffee? There's an answer there. It's more than 40. So I guess that's okay, right? 45? Okay, here's yours. This is, Miss Pam made this, and it's a good, it's a laminated of what you have. So it's, yes. Okay. So where's the mileage? Who's the winner? 37? Okay, here you go. Is that okay? All right. Okay, next. What natural remedy would you like to try next? First hand up. Okay, I had the first hand. What? The charcoal. Do you have charcoal at home? You don't? You have to. Okay, you're going to need to go to the local health food store and get some charcoal. Okay, we're going to get some books. Is that okay? Is this the books? Okay, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. All right. So, what is the book that I was quoting about health loss? What's the title? Ministry of Healing. Oh, those that answered will get one. And I have more. This is really a lifeline for health. And you may not be able to obey everything, but work towards the goal. Anyone else that answered? Okay. Ministry of Healing is written in the 1800s when everybody was prescribing so many dangerous things. Okay. One more question. Who wants to ask a question? All right. Let me see. Charcoal. Okay. What is the ratio of chopped onion and honey in your recipe? Okay. Okay, I'll give it to another person. Yes? What is it? Good. That's right. That's what you did. How about in your recipe? 1 cup to 1 tablespoon, because we made it small. And if you look, mine is really full, but it's the juice that you're going to take. And we're going to sample the onion broth. Okay. Any other questions? We're going to go and close, and we're going to take a break, and then we'll move to food demo. Okay. But I will pray before that. Yes? Questions? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. First, thick mucus is dehydration. You know, if you're well hydrated, your mucus will not be as thick. Second is it can be allergies from postnasal drip. The third one is if people are exposed to occupational hazard or smoking, it can be a sign of chronic bronchitis. So what I tell people is they need to do the steam before bedtime and clean out everything, and then do it in the morning where you accumulated all of that to clean out everything. The source would be a little bit more workup than a question. Okay? All right. Any other questions? Yes. Yes. Not all inflammation is infection. No. It can be inflamed and it can have drainage, not necessarily infection. Infection is when a lot of bacteria has accumulated and it's causing infection, at which case you need antibacterial. So not all inflammation is infection. We're good? Okay, who learned something new to try? Good. So we don't want any of you to get super sick in the wintertime. Get your vitamin D, tame that 3-year-old, right? Who's going to make decisions for better health? Yes. And before you get to a NyQuil, try some of these. They really do work. Is your question related? Yeah.
You mentioned the
Caffeine.
that decreases
Blood flow by more than 40%. Mm-hmm.
So what if those like people like truck drivers and they drink like 5 cups a day?
Yeah.
So now, my husband always said, "Oh, coffee is like too bad for internet. It's very therapeutic for the people who want the what is it? Tremors.
Yeah, but coffee also causes tremors. Okay. So the question is, truck drivers, what will they do if they need to be awake? Change their career. And then nobody will buy anything from nothing to buy in the grocery. And then coffee actually causes tremors. Yes, right? You're so nervous, anxiety. When I gave a lecture, I told the people about coffee. There was one lady who told me, "You're not going to take my coffee." Okay, lady, come down. Get off coffee. Okay, that's it. Okay.
One cup a day.
I will not say okay to any amount of coffee. Sorry. Yes. No, that's in the same plane as alcohol for me. Yeah, because I used to drink coffee a lot. Okay, shall we pray? Was it good? Did you have fun? I had fun. I hope you had fun too. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let's pray. Lord, thank you for this human body that you created after your image, that you have created to heal. Help us, Lord, to understand how much you love us, to treat our bodies with respect, and to use these natural things that you have placed in nature, even examples in the Bible. Lord, thank you for your love and your grace that is perfect, unconditional. You are always faithful. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you.
We'll take a 2 to 3 minute break. Well,
Is that
thereabouts. If you need to stand up, stretch. And then the broth is available on the table if you want to come and get a sample
yes.
of the broth.
The broth.
And then we are going to reset. Can you guys hear me?
Okay.
Okay, then we'll reset and we have a few more demos that we'll go through fairly quickly. And then we have food to serve to you.
Okay. Did you hear that? There is the onion broth on the table to try. You're going to have a few minutes of leg break, bathroom break, and then there will be demos and food to try. Thank you, everybody.
Well, I think too, though. Yeah, it's really steep there. Wow. Again, my big thing is I just want I don't want them to come anywhere from, like we talked about. Where they want to go. Move into their next phase, whatever they're right. Yeah, so maybe start figuring things No, we at first we kind of had ideas of going, find this cycle. We just have to find what we do. You come along in the end, that'll be great. We are. I mean, I was. But there's a few that just came on that I so everything have to have acreage. We've been mainly just like small come stay with us for a while. Whatever. So 2,000 square feet is just about Oh yeah. Yep, I was planning on you doing that. I just didn't know publicly. Just don't go publishing. No, I don't do that. So really with that, and then
Okay, I think they're about ready to do their food demo and give you samples. But I'm going to say goodbye at this point. My children have a recital in Vancouver, Washington by 4:30, so we have to zip there. But thank you so much. Thanks for having us. Thank you for sharing. This was fun. Just kidding. Oh, that's
For you to keep. There are books on the end of the counter that you can look at. They're just to look at, snap a picture, and then you can order if you're interested. The books in the middle are the Ministry of Healing books Dr. Arvey was hoping to give you. So if you would like one, the books in the middle are for you to take. We have extra flyers from last week if you missed that. And Kim she's going to give you, if you're following along, there's a recipe book. There's recipes in your handouts. Okay? And Miss Kim is going to be here in just a second, and we're going to start with what is that called? It sounds so delicious. It's called On the Mend Spiced Red Lentil Kale Soup. She's going to talk to you about that. She has a fruit smoothie to demo, and then I have my version of a green smoothie to demo. And those will go really quick. Then we're going to set the food out, and you can enjoy. Yes, the Ministry of Healing books are free to you to take, and the handouts are free to take, and then the books on the end are just a resource for you to write down the name or snap a picture and order them on Amazon, of course. All right, Miss Kim, are you ready?
I'm ready. It looks like we're short of people, though.
I think.
time. And if you can go to your packet and look at the On the Mend spiced red lentil kale soup. I'm not going to do a lot of demonstration on that, but we're going to talk a little bit about vegetable broth. It calls for vegetable broth, and what we used in the broth was Better Than Bouillon vegetable base. When I look at vegetable broths, I like to look at sodium content. I used this because it's available at Walmart. They should be in your packet. So we have sodium is only 700 milligrams, oh my goodness, per teaspoon. So it has a lot of sodium. It'll be in your soup. If you're concerned about sodium, that may not be the broth for you. This one, not chicken, bouillon cubes, is even worse. It's 800. McKay's chicken style seasoning is a standard in my house, but it's not available at Walmart. And that one has, let me find it here, 550, which is better. There are recipes that you can make your own vegetable bouillon that's salt-free. I failed to get that for you. But this one, also in a McKay's bottle, I don't know how much sodium it has, but it has less salt. And it's a recipe that's promoted by Kyung Weathersby on her website. And it's not bad. It's pretty good. At home, we did a taste test between this one, the McKay's, and the Better Than Bouillon. And my husband liked the McKay's and the Better Than Bouillon better than the homemade version. But the homemade version is okay. So you might want to think about that. Now let's see, what else do we need to do? Here are just the ingredients that we used in the soup. Red lentils, the bouillon, then the spices, the chili powder, cumin, coriander, cayenne, and smoked paprika. Of course, there's onion and garlic, and bay leaf. And so that's about all there is for that, except who here is unfamiliar with kale? When you have kale, it comes in a package like this, but you don't want to use the hard stem for the soup. And so I just stripped it off with my hands like this, tore it into pieces, and that's what you will see in your soup. So just kind of like that. Oh, there's a trash bowl there. That's great. Any questions so far? Okay. Okay. I didn't hear you.
You don't need to cook it that long, right?
The kale right now, okay, so we cooked the soup this morning. It's kind of been simmering in just its own self for probably, I don't know, it doesn't need to cook that long because the red lentils don't take long to cook. The kale is going in right now. The kale will be added now. Pam's going to do that. And then while we do these food demos, it'll kind of steam in the hot soup, and it'll give you a good bite, I think, a good bite of kale. So you'll have to see how you love it. And you'll have experience so you can do it differently if you would like it different, right? Let me put this in the kitchen. Oh, question? Oh yeah, spinach. Spinach is a more tender choice. Okay, so that's it for. Oh, another question.
Why is it called On the Mend?
Yeah, it has onion, it has garlic, it has all the yummy spices to boost your immune system. That was the title that was in the Oshiglos cookbook, a favorite cookbook. There's a copy of it up here if you want to see some of the other yummy recipes. It's one of April's favorite cookbooks. I trust her taste. Wow, she's a really good cook. Okay, so that's that. So now we need Carolyn, our faucet. Now we are going to demonstrate the sandwich spread. I might be missing something. No? Well, I need a bowl with a rounder bottom. Okay. I'll get my notes here. So the garbanzo vegetable sandwich spread is really a simple recipe. And we'll start by using garbanzos. And of course, we drain and rinse. And so here we have, don't even need a can opener, my goodness. Okay. Yes. Mike doesn't tolerate peppers. So if your name is Mike and you tolerate peppers, it is for you. So I'm going to rinse these. And then soon we will have a bowl. And we'll drain them, shake them. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just use this. I'll just use this one. It'll be okay. So the tools that I like for mashing garbanzos are the same tools that are good for mashing tofu. I like using a bladed pastry blender. This will be fine. But you can also use a potato masher. And I'm going to mash these up so they still have some texture. And Carolyn, you just washed your hands, right?
I went to the bathroom, washed my hands,
You washed your hands.
and then I sanitized them.
Perfect. Would you like to continue mashing? Okay. And I will find, these are the vegetables that I'm going to put in the, and here, I apologize because I don't have a cutting board, but that's okay. I don't need one, right? It's a possibility. Yeah, a cutting board would be good. Great.
And you have a knife?
I have a knife. Okay, so, pepper down. So I'm just going to put in a little of this, a little pepper, and when I chop these up with a food processor, hopefully they will get really, really fine. That's the idea. And depending on the size of your vegetables, I had some really giant carrots, and so the ones that I made last night for tonight, or for today, I just used one carrot because we didn't need that much. The garbanzos are going to be about 1.5 cups in a can, and I want to have about an equivalent amount of vegetables. So just I don't know, you don't have to measure exactly. Okay, we're going to make some noise. Maybe. Yeah. And it's chopping. Okay. So it's all mushed up. Perfect. Oh, that's really, really good. Do you all know my granddaughter Carolyn? She's such a good helper. And she's a good cook. I even heard she made a blackberry pie. Not me. But I'm sure it was wonderful. So here, Carolyn mashed these up really nicely. And I'm going to put them to one side. And let's compare how many vegetables we have to how many garbanzos. Oh, I think we have more vegetables today. Well, that's kind of good. Because the more vegetables, the better, right? Okay, so with this, with as many as I put in there, if you can see.
Is it one jar of garbanzos? One jar?
Excuse me?
One jar of garbanzos?
This one is one of garbanzos, but with as many vegetables as this is, you could pop open another can.
Okay.
You could. It's not rocket science. It's true. Okay, so we have nutritional yeast. And this, oh, question. Blackberry pie. How did you do your crust?
It's just boiling water and salt and brown flour, white flour, and some oil.
Okay. Brown flour, white flour, boiling water, some oil, some salt.
I think it's just like light olive oil that I use. And 1 cup of brown flour, 1 cup of white flour. And a 1/2 cup of water, boiling water, and a 1/2 cup of oil.
Well, there you go. From the expert who picked the blackberries. So, who was here last week? Oh, lots of people. So, I'm going to go back. What are blackberries? Part of the Neuro 9. Yay. Okay, I have here some plant-based mayonnaise. It's from Best Foods. If you order it from Walmart, it may come in as Hellmann's, and it's the same stuff. And so this says a 1/4 cup. There's 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. We'll start with that. And then the Bragg's, it said 1 tablespoon of Bragg's. And I have these teeny tiny cups that are 2 tablespoons. And so I'm going to put 1 tablespoon in. Okay, we'll mix this up. It will turn into sandwich spread, I promise. And I made a mess here. Could you go into the kitchen and get a little wipey thing, please? So this one turned out pretty orange because we didn't, I think it was our green pepper that went down. And so we didn't use it. But you can use a combination of whatever vegetables you have and just kind of 1.5 cups of vegetables to 1 can of garbanzos. Mix it up and it looks something like that. Thank you. Where did I get them? I threw the can out. I think I got them at Walmart, and I got the organic. Oh, that's something I was going to talk to you about. I got these organic garbanzos at grocery outlet. I thought, oh, that's good. They have, 130 milligrams of sodium. The S&W has 85. But when I opened this can, it had this many garbanzos in it. It was not full, and I was disappointed. So I had to adjust the recipes for that. Okay, any other questions on this one? No? Okay. You can take this back to the kitchen. I'll put this up here. I need the frozen things. We're going to change equipment up here. We're going to go into the smoothie portion. We're going to do a little different take on smoothies, and I am going to demonstrate the fruit smoothie. I'll put that right here. And I don't think I'm going to make it green today because Pam is making a green smoothie. So, yes. Yes. So this is a weird smoothie because people go nuts when they think about having nuts and beans in a smoothie. But it's really, it adds protein, it adds good for you fats, and it increases the satiety of the smoothie. So if you're brave enough to try it, you might be surprised. I have almonds. They're pretty neutral. Yeah. And, okay. Again, important to drain and rinse the beans. These are Great Northern beans. Great Northern? Mm-hmm. Go ahead. And get a good rinse going. Perfect. That's great. Okay. So something that I do, it doesn't take a lot of beans. I usually put 1/3 cup of beans in each smoothie. And so I'll get 4 smoothies out of a can of beans. And so what I do is I freeze the smoothie base. Excuse me. I freeze the smoothie base, and then it's ready for the next time, and I don't have to get everything out again. So, excuse me. What's that? Yeah, that honey cough syrup. Oh my goodness. That's what I need. I thought I had everything here, but I do not. Where did it go? Well, I'll wing it. I have 1/3 of a cup somewhere in the kitchen. And so,
Here's 1/3 of a cup.
oh, perfect. Thank you. We'll do the nuts first because they're dry. 1/3 of a cup. Excuse me?
Are they blanched?
These are blanched almonds. Yes. And then I'm just going to fill them up, my 3 little freezer cups. Then we'll do 1/3 of a cup of beans. 1/3 of a cup of beans. You can ask as many questions as you'd like.
How long would it stay in the freezer, or how long can you, like, at one point, like, say, oh, our texture you use it by?
Well, that's a really good question, and I don't have a really good answer for that. Generally, they say up to 3 months. Yeah, generally they say up to 3 months. So another smoothie base. I put in lemon juice. Of course, that's about, what does the recipe say? Does that look about right? Yeah, that was about 2 tablespoons. I'm finished with that now. Oh no, fresh would be much better. You know, I would be up for trying anything. Try it. If you like it, it'd be great. Then this might not be, let's see, this is fruits. So, and we're not going to do the spinach. Okay? So this is the portion that I would freeze. The lemon juice, the beans, the nuts. And if you choose to put sweetening, I've brought agave. It's a little bit lower glycemic. Yes, agave, no agave. Okay, yes or no? Okay, we'll do no. We'll do no. I'll do a small one. That's a yes. Okay. So now I'm going to put in some soy milk, and that didn't open up very well. There we go. And now we're going to make some noise. And after this is creamied up, we'll go ahead and put in our fruit. Okay. That's nice and creamy. So now we put in about 3 servings of fruit. So what would a serving of fruit be? Let's start with our frozen bananas. These were small bananas. And so maybe, what? 1 banana, 1 small banana, or half a big banana? So here we have, that's equivalent to 1 small banana. We'll have about a cup of strawberries. And we have some blueberries. So I don't know how it's going to turn out. I know that if we put green in, it would turn brown. But it would still taste good. Okay. So there's that. Let's see how that blends up. Then we'll add the rest. You know what? I'm going to need the pusher, right? Yeah. Ooh, that's pretty. Does anybody here have a Vitamix? Have you ever had it go? I always try to turn it down to low before I turn it off so it doesn't blow up. Let's see, what am I looking for? The ice. Oh, there it is. So now I'm going to put in some ice, make it nice and cold. Do you think that's going to be good? Do you have an extra spoon? I am going to just make sure that we're on the right track. Kind of crunchy. Ice. I didn't put in the apple. I picked these apples from my trees this morning. Let's put it in. We'll put in some apple. Okay, and if Pam is ready, we're just about ready. Great. Okay. Okay, and we'll call that good. I'm going to put this over here, and is Pam ready? I will clear my stuff away. Any questions? We'll have these available for sampling at the end of the table in just a bit. Yeah, that can go out. me grab one of these real quick. I'll show you something. I got this idea from my sister-in-law a year ago at Thanksgiving. This is Goodbye Lupus. It's my version of Dr. Brooke Goldner. Have any of you heard about this online? So my sister-in-law said, I told her I wanted to have more greens and I wanted to try a green smoothie. And she said, oh, you need to try this one. And even though I don't have lupus, well, I came back to the church and I was telling another friend, and she said, I make that all the time. So it's apparently a very popular recipe, but it's a very big recipe, so I had to bring it down to size for me, and this is still too big for just little old me. I do try to get my husband to drink some. Lupus is an autoimmune disease, and I think it has to do with inflammation, and so hopefully that will, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how to describe it any further than that. So my green smoothie, I will just show you really quickly. I go to Safeway and I buy Super Greens. And whatever your version of Super Greens are, this one is simply baby kale, baby chard, and this one is baby spinach, all three. And so, pardon? Yes. Oh, okay. They're really good. And I've even used them as a stir fry, like a saute with the greens. So this is just my version of Dr. Goldner's, and it's pretty straightforward. What I didn't get was water, and I probably need to ask for some water, excuse me. Yes, I need water. That'll work. Will you get it for me? Thank you, Carolyn. If you don't, and she's going to grab a little extra too. Thank you so much. In Dr. Goldner's, I think she says to fill your, if you don't have a Vitamix, these are a great investment. I know they have, what are the other popular little smoothie blend, NutriBullets and all of those. You could probably use that. I did use my Vitamix for, this recipe calls for ground flaxseed. Also, we just got this at Safeway. Bob's Red Mill is a well-known brand. So that's the flax. Thank you so much, Carolyn. Very simple. I grab a handful. These are already pre-washed, ready to go. And I just smash them in. Now, if I'm doing it just for me, I kind of break down the recipe and half it. But I'm going to mix this up for you guys to try and see what you think. Because I think anything that's going to help me get more greens, that's a win. I'm probably only going to go about there, and I'm pushing them down. I want you to enjoy it. So the greens go in. If you have the time and you're at home, you can take your lemon, and I would zest it because the lemon zest is really good for you, the lemon oil, the natural. But I take one lemon and I peel it, and I just add it like that. Drop it in. And then the next ingredient says the ground flaxseed. It does call for a quarter. I'm probably only going to give you about half of that. I also take flaxseed oil. If you don't, you can get those in the capsules. And they're good for dry eyes, by the way. Yes? I have tried it that way. I don't prefer it that way. You lose some of that fresh flavor in a smoothie. And you can get by with it, but it's not as good. And the frozen fruit acts like the ice. It gives you a better. So I'm only going to put in half of this amount just today because when I'm at home I don't use the flax. So I'm just going to go light flax for you today. And this is just a quarter cup. And chia seeds are my new favorite food. And I'll tell you another little trick with my chia seeds. I just take a cup of blueberries and about 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, and then I cover it with my soy milk and
stir that up, and I can either let it sit overnight, or I'm enjoying it frozen that way too, because it's kind of like an ice cream. Yummy. Chia seeds are good for you. And with the chia seeds, they also help to thicken. And what's next? Bananas. So I took 2 frozen bananas and froze them last night. I just chunked them a little bit. Oh boy, I hope this recipe works. Okay, there's the banana. And then the pineapple. And I forgot to cut the bag, so I'm just going to slice the top of the bag open. This is just as if I were making it at home. I don't have everything pre-measured. I just grab the stuff and dump it in. So frozen bananas, mango, pineapple. And I know it calls for, in your recipe, I think I did 1 cup of each. But I'm not doing quite that much today. I'm just taking a couple handfuls and tossing them in. You can be pretty creative with your own smoothies. But I wanted more greens, so this was helping me do that. And some of the mango. This is a pretty full, I always only make this about half of this amount, so this is going to be fun. And I'll tell you the secret to this. Well, also, let me put in the ginger. So do you use raw ginger at home? Have you ever used raw ginger? I love raw ginger. The other trick I do with this, same idea. I cut off a little piece of it. I cut this in half, and I actually put it through my garlic press. Give it a little squeeze, a little bit of the juice comes out in my tea. And I take half a lemon, and I squeeze half a lemon in there. So lemon ginger tea, yummy. But I do add a little bit of honey or agave to it. True story. Okay, here goes my ginger. And then the secret to this drink for me is the mint leaves. Pardon? You know, Dr. Golden, I think is her name. I watched her talk about this, and she said she doesn't even peel it anymore. She just throws the whole piece in. I don't know if it's necessary to, but I did. So this calls for 3 stems. I just do a bunch of mint because I like it, and it brightens the flavor. That lemon will really brighten it too. That's it. So everything's in there. And I cover it with water. This is where the test is going to come in. It says 4 to 5 cups of water. You know, you want to cover the greens. But with your own mixer, you may add more or less, however that works out for you. And I'm probably going to give it a good little amount because I don't want it to work too hard. Put the lid on. And as Kim said, here comes the noise. And I turn it up. That looks good. At this point at home, I usually take a little cup and I taste it and I decide, do I want more lemon? Do I want more ginger or mint? But this is what we're going to try today. And I hope you like it. And certainly when you get home, you can play with it, see what you think. But add more greens and chia seeds. Thank you. And I'm going to go pour it in cups. We're going to bring out the food, and you can have lots of yummy things to taste. So give us about 3 to 5 minutes. I think last week it was a little more than that. Thank you. All right, Miss Kim, I'm done. It was fast.